So for today's video, we asked our subscribers what their most controversial rap opinion is, and we actually assembled the best ones and even took some comments under some of our YouTube videos. And before we actually get started, guys, our audio podcast is out now on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You guys can check out a new episode every Tuesday based on our music recommendations. But let's get into this with the first take. This one comes to us from My Dark Twisted Silent Planet, who says Denzel's already better all time than Drake.
I saw this one. This one was absolutely steamy. And no, I don't think so, bro. I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, I do think that Denzel is maybe making better music right now and that he has been on a incredible, consistent run with projects like Taboo, Zoo, Unlocked, Melt My Eyes, See Your Future. He's been on that run, but I think for Drake, even looking back at the old era, the impact on the genre, there's just way too much to accomplish for anyone in the genre to be able to touch Drake's legacy.
When it comes to the catalog of hits that Drake has, when it comes to the impact that Drake has, I mean, even when it comes to classic albums, I love Denzel, and he's only been getting better with every release and every body of work. And you could say that Denzel has better flows. You could say that Denzel is in better form currently because when you hear him on a track, he's more ambitious as of late in comparison to Drake. But to say that Denzel right now ranks all-time higher than Drake,
no.
Tell it to your cat, bro. Respectfully, I'm sorry. This is a really bad one.
That's a good one. But listen, because I'm going to come in with another one just to piggyback off you because there was a bunch of Drake slander underneath the community top post that we put on. I'm like, what the fuck? He just dropped a fire album. What's wrong with you guys? So listen to this one from Juan de Jesus, okay? Drake should never be in the GOAT conversation. Of course, he has longevity and superstar status, but to be the GOAT, you cannot have a clear dip in quality in your music as the years go by. Sure, his music may not be mid or trash, but not to say since 2016, his music quality hasn't declined. Sorry, his quality in music hasn't declined is crazy. So kind of a typo there towards the end, but regardless though, to say that he shouldn't be in a GOAT conversation to me is a bit blasphemous because, bro, Loki guy has one of the best legacies that has ever been seen in music, period, not even the rap genre. So I think that it's a bit weird, bro, the way that people are treating Drake right now, and especially his career.
Especially when it comes to his versatility, the different types of productions that he's able to rap on, the different styles that he's executed, the different sounds and generations that he's ushered in. I mean, we have to give him his credit where his credit is due, bro. He's literally one of the biggest to ever do it, and to stay relevant after a decade plus and still be the biggest rapper around, I mean, there's a lot of merit that deserves to be going towards Drake's direction. So another fucking awful one, but let me keep on going with my next one. And this one comes to us from the Bird Nerd 34, who says Savage Mode 2 is better than Without Warning and might be 21's best work yet. Has no skips. That's laughable, bro.
That's not good.
That's laughable. I mean,
that's not good.
Without Warning sticks to an original theme from start to finish, has original production and lyrics that actually complement that haunting aura that the album has. And SM2, bro, has some cringy misses on there. When you're looking at R.I.P. Love, when you're looking at Mr. Right Now, I mean, come on.
No, you can't say that. And even at that, fuck comparing it to Without Warning. I mean, 21's best performances ever are not even on that track list. I mean, yes, you have Many Men and you have Snitches and Rats, and those are performances that I absolutely adore, but looking at Without Warning, I Am Greater Than I Was, bro. Even something like now, Heroes and Villains, you find some top tier fucking 21 Savage and Metro Boomin collaborations. And I understand that it's a big fan favorite for people, but go back to the original run, bro. Go back to the No Hearts and the X's and do some homework, just before you make claims like that. And I understand it's all subjective and music is music, but I definitely do think you'll find better 21 Savage performances on other albums.
Much better, without a doubt.
That's good, but listen to this next one, bro. LP by JPEG Mafia is a top 10 hip-hop album of all time, and this one was fucking crazy because I get it. I understand the appeal behind it. I mean, I'm a big fan of the album. I have it in my rotation. The critics love it. The community loves it, but top 10 of all time is a pretty high standard.
That's an awful fucking take. I mean, listen,
not good.
You want to say top 10 of the 2020s? I can get behind that movement, and I think that what JPEG Mafia is doing right now is really advanced, and I feel like when it comes to the way he forms his soundscapes, he is one of the most entertaining and unpredictable artists to check out for right now. I think that everything that he does, bro, there's always purpose, there's always intention, and just the experimental nature of his music always leaves you guessing.
The unpredictability factor
for
to
sure,
his music
but
and track
top
list.
10 of all time, like, is it better than Ready to Die? Is it better than The Infamous? Is it better than even some of the best we got in the 2010s, like Piñata? No.
I mean,
fuck no.
But you could kind of imagine the fan that would kind of say this. Maybe like you're more into the Death Grip section of hip hop and like that really like alternative hip hop scene where you're listening to Injury Reserve or let's
and
say
Aesop Rock,
yeah,
and,
like
and
that
that
sort
whole
of,
movement.
So
but
I guess if that's your music taste, yes, that could be considered. But unbiased, like looking at the genre for over like 6 decades at this point, no, you can't say
fuck
that.
no.
I wouldn't say that.
I
at
totally
least.
disagree with that. But my next one is pretty interesting, and this is the way that it goes. SK 2.021 says, may or may not be controversial, but Babytron will soon become one of the greatest rappers of our generation. And listen, Babytron is definitely
fun.
baby fun. No, because he's definitely fun to listen to, and I get it, bro. He can rap over the sound of my car alarm going off, and people are gonna say it's heat. Like the guy he has that flexibility to rap on whatever you throw at him, bro. Whatever he can spit on, he has that dynamic aspect to his music. But when I'm listening to his projects, they feel aimless a lot of the times, in my opinion. I get it. He has fire punchlines, but there's no novelty to his music, in my opinion. There's nothing that he's doing that hasn't been done before. And I don't see all the hype behind Babytron, even though I respect what he's doing.
I think he's going to have a nice evolution in his growth, and I think he definitely carved a lane out for himself. But to say that he's going to be a top 5 of this new generation is kind of weird to say, just because there's other guys in front of him that I do feel like are going to do much better. Example, like a Baby Keem, or even someone like Yeat now that I've been really getting into. Like, there's a lot
Yeat
of
over Babytron? I don't know about that one,
I'm going
bro.
Yeat over Babytron.
That's a bit
absolutely.
of a stinky take.
You also have, people like Henny Mason that I think are going to have incredible careers moving forward. Like, you have certain artists that are really coming up from this new generation.
The Caseys, the Cordays, the Denzels.
That offer. Well, I mean, Denzel, it's kind of hard because he's been active for a minute, and
True.
like, especially with the whole Raiders Clan thing.
Still
and coming
young
up
though.
with
He's
the
like
SoundCloud.
25, 26 years old.
He has
I
a
think,
lot of
so.
potential to push forward, but I just think that looking at the current landscape, it is a false claim to make because I don't put him necessarily in that sort of thing. But he does make good music, though.
Yeah,
I will give him that.
he
But
does.
let me go on to a Yeat take, all right? And this one's very interesting. Yeat is a top 5 rapper in the game right now. From his undeniable bars to his mesmerizing flows, it's clear to me that he will go down as the greatest rapper of my generation. Agreed his production is the best right now, says Jake Griffin right underneath. And then Laura actually agreed with Andrew by saying, I'm dead, you're unreal, but I respect it. So it's interesting because I went underneath the conversation and people seem to be actually getting behind this, saying that he's literally going to be the next up for this generation and be the poster boy. And listen,
Let me ask you this. Do you think his demographic stretches like beyond people, let's say, over 25 years old?
Yeah. I think so. I think that, bro, he's selling 55,000 copies first week.
I know. When you look at his shows, though, it looks like a bunch of like 12-year-old boys to me.
Yeah, but I
me.
mean, but you could say that about so many different
I
artists.
know,
The same
I
thing could
know.
be said about Playboy Cardi right now, But I understand where they're coming from because he's kind of like the front leader in the face for hip hop right now for this younger generation.
Yeah.
Which is a bit fucking scary if you have to ask me. Like, I enjoy his music, but I mean, there's people that are making better music than Yeat right now.
Yeah,
you know?
I think. Listen, I'm not a Yeat fan. Like, I'll never just wake up in the morning and be like, you know what, I'm down to listen to today. Let me put on some fucking Afterlife, bro. That's the vibe that I'm on. You'll never catch me into that mood. But I will say he did show improvement with the latest project, even though I'm not huge on it. His ability to rap over the rage beats, the dream pop stuff, like he's definitely changing it up and showing that he's not one-dimensional, which I respect. And yeah, different cadences and flows being showcased. It's cool, but as a rapper, is he really moving the needle all that much?
I think he is, though, because there's a lot of people that are trying to replicate
Production's
Yeat's sound.
carrying for the most part.
No, because you're saying that because the production is so well done. Like his ear as a curator and like his taste making is fucking sick. Like that's what I got at Afterlife, at least, because you go through 2 Alive and like, okay, I could see the complaints with it, and I think it was a good listen, but it doesn't do anything too crazy for me. But going into Afterlife for this year, bro, he was showcasing everything for me, all kinds of different cadence switches, either if it's, let's say, the whisper cadence that he put on something like Watch, or even something a bit more out of his element for None I Change.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
He
has
he's
his lane,
experimenting. I just don't think the music is top tier for now. But let's keep on going with another take.
Admit this, though. He's on a good trajectory.
He's on a great trajectory for sure. Next up, we have Freelo Clappers, who says Earl is the most talented artist from Odd Future. Not just talking about lyrical ability here. And listen, Earl, to me, he's super fucking talented, bro. And when it comes to his music, I feel like he can be rapping about chugging down some Four Locos or rapping about trick-or-treating. It doesn't matter. He'll have my undivided attention. I think he is the best lyricist out of the entire Odd Future collective, including people like Domo Genesis, who is also fire. But when we're looking at the sheer talent all around of the
Frank
entire
Ocean
group,
and Tyler.
Frank Ocean, Tyler, you can even argue Sid is also super talented. She's great, but I do think that he's maybe around that third position. But Frank and Tyler have the better albums, in my opinion. You have someone like Frank who possesses more talent in the sense that he plays multiple instruments as well. He has the singing voice. He has the rapping performances on stuff like oldie or rap.
You also have Tyler in that conversation where he could fit into so many different bags, and he makes that sort of moment in time music where the whole industry stops and stares. And I think, especially after this 3-album run, I'm not sure if there's anything that really compares, let's say, from Earl's catalog. And there are obviously projects, like example, like some rap songs or I Don't Like Shit, where, bro, these are phenomenal projects and I do enjoy them. But I just think that when you have to have a catalog conversation so far, at least, because they are, close to a decade into their career or already a decade in, I would go to Frank or obviously Tyler above Earl, at least in my opinion. But like you said, he is the best rapper.
Yes.
Like for pen and for actually constructing songs. So that's a hot take, though, because
is.
there's actually
Hot,
validity to
bro.
it. That's
It's hot.
good. But listen to this next one, okay? This comes to us from Avanobi. Thank you so much for sending this in. And this one's interesting because this is an album that everyone seems to love, even the critics. Kids See Ghosts is nowhere near a perfect album. There are a couple of really strong tracks off of it, like Cuddy Montage and Reborn, but most of other songs aren't that great. And I'm talking as a huge Kanye fan. I'm not sure if you're listening to the right type of Kanye stuff, because this is fucking blasphemy to say that the other 5 tracks on this album aren't great. Example, something like Fire,
the
bro.
feel the
Yeah.
love.
Yeah, like there's so much great fucking material on this album. And I think what you have to understand with Kids See Ghosts is there was so much accomplished within only 7 songs. There's so much potency and impact only within that short track list. Plus, if you have to look at the duality of Kanye and Kid Cudi throughout the album, their chemistry was unmatched, bro. Especially through the types of times they were living throughout their life. It feels like they had this unmatched and unparalleled sort of chemistry where you didn't see that in hip-hop before. It was really rare and special, and the production choices, the sample flips, the cohesion and sequencing from track to track, even the feature from Yassine, like you have so many highlight moments on there that, okay, maybe it's not a perfect album, but to say that it's not great,
I'm
not sure.
I don't agree with
I'm
that
not
at
sure,
all.
bro.
I mean,
I'm not
listen,
sure about
maybe
that.
you have certain songs like Ghost Town Part 2 that aren't on the caliber of a Cuddy Montage or a Reborn, but it's such a fucking concise album. And going back to the whole LP take, I feel like Kids See Ghosts is even a better experimental hip-hop project than that one, and that would rank
that's
higher all
interesting.
time.
That's a hot take,
as
too.
well. But no, this is like some of the best we've seen from Kanye and Kid Cudi in the longest time, and perfect album to me, bro, by all means. But let's do one more take each. How does that sound?
Okay, let's
bro?
do it. Go for it. Next
Okay,
one.
one more quick take from Solu Ono 387 says 90% of mainstream rap is boring. I feel like that's a bit high. I feel like maybe if you want to go towards the 75% of rap, of mainstream rap is
go
boring,
down to like 50.
that's more reasonable. But I mean, the thing is that like most of mainstream rap is a bit predictable. It's a bit stale. We know what we're gonna get when we have the track list. It feels like a lot of them are cash grabs where, there's no real
See,
artistic incentive behind a lot of them. But of course, we occasionally get the Mr. Morales, and from time to time we get the heroes and villains. And
You get
once
Her
a blue moon, you get
Loss,
to
yeah.
Call Me If You Get Lost. Like it's not enough.
The off
That's
season,
it.
like you're getting quality on.
But underground music, for the most part, is better than mainstream right now. I think
I
that's
think because there's no money involved within the creation process, and like for a lot of different art, and that's why I salute the Kendricks and even Tyler and even Drake to a certain extent, because he's making super fire music still while having to appeal
for the
to
most
mouse.
part, yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? So yes, while I do think that a lot of it is boring, like you go to the Jack Harlows, and even I Never Liked You last year wasn't anything too crazy. Like I do agree to a certain extent, but for the most part, it's still fire.
It's still fire. I
There's
think
still a lot of cool original stuff that's being brought to the market. So I do disagree. I don't think all
I
of it is
definitely
garbage.
do. But let's wrap it up with this Jay-Z take that you were telling me about, which I don't know what it is, but you told me that it was hot. So
This is crazy.
What
This
is
comes to us from Dia too. I appreciate this take just because of how fucking crazy it is. I really don't understand where this comes out of. Jay-Z is nowhere near the top 10 all-time list, not even the top 20, bro.
the fuck?
And I don't know where. Listen, I don't know what grudge you have with Jay-Z. I
But
don't
you know
know.
what's crazy, bro, is how many fucking comments I saw saying Jay-Z is overrated. Jay-Z never had a year where he was the best rapper.
Do you think Jay-Z gets the Drake treatment? And do you think Drake gets the Jay-Z treatment where like they were just the most successful and they had one of the best legacies in rap music, and then like people feel the need to shit on them even with the catalog and skill and let's say impact? Like
For
where are you
sure.
gonna find
Just
their
because
blemishes?
Jay-Z always had tough competition. Like back in the early days of his career, he was competing with Tupac and Biggie, with DMX,
with Nas,
with Eminem as well. And like, it took until 2001 to really make that massive impact of being like, I'm the best rapper alive right now, even though he lost the fucking rap battle to Nas that year. But Jay-Z is easily top 10. Like, he's one of like the placeholders, bro, within even a top 5 in my opinion.
Yeah, you need to have him in your top 10. Saying he's not even top 20 is fucking blasphemy. You know, like where do you get a nitpick with him? Where do you want to go? You want to go with his skill and capability? No, he has some of the best writing material of all time in songs like example, like Never Change and bro, like Song Cry. Like there's so many great moments and instances within his career where you could even argue has the most classics ever.
I know,
like
could argue that.
there's really a case to be made for his longevity as well. Like looking at 444 and how he kind of like closed off for now. Like that was an incredible bow out, at least for the past like 6 years at this point. Yeah, more or less. And going back to even his feature game, you know, the pop appeal, the influence, the amount of people he brought into the genre.
I know,
like,
bro.
You don't have a Kanye West without a Jay-Z. And then if you don't have a Kanye West, what do you really have, you know? So that's what I'm saying is people have to put more respect on Jay-Z's name. And I think that the older generation deserves to look down upon us just for saying those types of things. You know?
It's a pretty fucking awful take. But guys, let us know down in the comments, what is your most controversial opinion? Which ones should we include if we do this for a second time? And thank you to everyone who actually sent them in. It was definitely entertaining going through them. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel for more content just like this. And we'll catch you in the next one.